plein air. The Ligue Nationale de Rugby announced last month that the semi-finals in Bordeaux and the final in Marseille will be played to full houses. This just a foretaste of what is to come, with the Stade de France being renovated and redressed ahead of the Olympic Games. The football finals and the rugby finals have had to go on the road. Rugby will come here, to the heart of the Mediterranean. A place where football normally dominates. The rugby club of Provence Rugby, that shares Aix-en-Provence and Marseille as its club, doesn't quite have the stature of the football club, who this season are struggling to get into European action for next season. The demands for the rugby clubs a little less stringent. Top 8 go through to the Champions Cup, and both these clubs are comfortably inside that. We are a little late. We were supposed to kick off at 9:05. It is already 9:05, and we are waiting for the clubs to come out onto the pitch. Well, Toulouse have lost 15 times against Toulon in top 14. Only against Clermont have they lost more often under the current format, since it was changed in 2005, as Julien Marchand leads out the French side. The French champions, Toulouse. Much change tonight. Toulouse irresistible at home. No defeats in any competition so far this season. Away from home, though, a little less competitive, but still one of the better sides in top 14. Toulon, unbeaten at home in top 14, except for their defeat in February against Toulon, against Bordeaux-Bègles, excuse me. Away from home, it's been a very different story. Just 2 wins away from home. However, one of them came in their last match away in Spain, where Bayonne sometimes go to the Anoeta Stadium, where last season's semi-finals of top 14 took place so memorably to full houses. Thomas Ramos, little handshake with fellow French international Danny Brissot. And we are all set. No white and blue for Marseille tonight. It is red and black for Toulon. Also the colours of their visitors this evening at Toulouse. However, it is the home side Toulon who will be wearing those colours predominantly. The opposite, black and red for Toulouse. Charles Olivon, very much flavour of the month for France once again, having lost the captaincy but come back in the last 12 months to be just as important. Would have been up against several of his international teammates. As we get set, we might not be at the Stade Félix Mayol, but that does not mean that we will not have the Pilou Pilou. One of the great sights of French rugby, European rugby, and perhaps the global game as well. The Pilou Pilou exhorting the hordes, and there are many of them tonight inside a packed Stade Velodrome. Ludovic Kerr is our referee this evening, assisted by Jonathan Gaznier and Thierry Mallet. The fourth official, Thomas Monteau, with the TMO tonight in the booth, sur le pont. Paolo Garbisi kicks off as 5th place Toulon take on 2nd place Toulouse. The two sides that have scored over 500 points in matches this season, they're the only ones to have breached that mark. We do expect plenty of points this evening. Toulouse have scored the most tries. Their next try will be their 80th. They've scored at least 18 more than any other side coming into this weekend. But Toulon have won 10 of their last 11 home games in top 14. And our first scrum.
Flexion. Lié. Saut.
Good break by Toulouse early on. Great burst there by Mathis Castro Ferrero. Looks like he's got rid of the blonde bits that he had on his hair. The 20-year-old French under-20 international. World title with teammate Paul Coste, who's on the bench tonight after a starring role in the 2 matches in the European Champions Cup or Continental Cup now that South African teams are involved. Teddy Bobigny, though, picks up the hooker. First choice in a very mobile front row with Danny Priso and opposite prop Becca Gigashvili. However, here comes Thomas Ramos. Playing at full-back again tonight. Feeds into Paul Graou. There's a very combative, superb defending scrum half who really does have it hard when you go up against Antoine Dupont, but is a stunning scrum half in his own right. In comes the hooker. Marchand playing scrum half for a second there and going into the ruck. Bobigny looking to get out of the way. Out by Graou again. Baptiste Germain playing at fly half tonight. No Romain Ntamak. So it's 2 scrum halves playing tonight. We have seen Antoine Dupont play at fly half as well this season with very great effect. And it goes to the veteran Sofiane Guitoun at centre. Hasn't represented France since the 2019 Rugby World Cup. Fassoele. New in from Perpignan this season, but has already captained the side a few times when Antoine Dupont has been absent. However, it's Marchand the captain this evening. Unable to do that earlier because of injury and being away with France. Garbin-Villiers, one of the French internationals lining up with Toulon tonight. With Charles Olivon, Esteban Abadi. Well, it's a attacking start from both sides. Nice break by Ramos, set off by the number 10 tonight, Baptiste Germain, and who spent last season away at Biarritz. Paul Graou has been making hay whilst the sun shines in the absence of Dupont, becoming a try machine.
Allez, on va laisser à la marque. Je les épaules au-dessus du bassin, bien en haut. Montre-moi bien un coup d'en haut.
So the usual discussion about the front row's engagement.
Bien au-dessus du bassin et vous le coude.
Toulon have won their most scrums on their own put in this season by quite a margin. They've used the scrum as a real weapon, and they've got a free kick with Toulouse engaging too early.
Ici, première ligne noire en bascule, on met la pression.
I wouldn't mind betting they'll go back for another scrum. And that's exactly what they're going to do.
Vous êtes en overlining, première ligne, ok? Gardez même à l'eau du corps,
Only La Rochelle have won more scrums on opposition put-ins this season than Toulouse, so tonight should be a real battle between these two packs. David Ayunu, the tight head prop for Toulouse, back after almost 2 months out with a calf injury. Here comes Bati Serra, who's been out as well this season with injury as well. Took a long time for him to come back. His experience that would be crucial, but what a drive that is through the ruck. And turnover ball, Josh Brennan has it for Toulouse. However, he's lost the ball as well, and a real lost opportunity as Serra looks long, and it's gone long and out on the full. This is out on the 50-22. Both sides trying to flex their muscles early on. Look at this drive, fantastic stuff from the youngster Matis Castro Ferreira, only 20 years old. 8 tries, all since returning from a 6-week ankle injury earlier in the campaign, from November to the end of December. Toulouse off again. The atmosphere is incredible here. Absolutely full. Fed out to Dimitri Delibes, man who's had injury breaks in all 4 of his seasons with Toulouse. Brennan, twisting, turning, trying to find a little bit of latitude there to get through. Fasuele out to Germain. Graou, they seem to have switched there in their half-back positions, but it seems to have worked out so far. Pouring forward, Graou again. Delibes. Castro Ferreira recycles. More on this is big pushing now coming from Toulon, so they decide to push and go. Clément Verger, the second row forward, another youngster in the side. Marchand again plays scrum half. Fasuele pushed forward by Brennan. Still going, the hooker. Graou just gets that wound and into the hands of the loose head prop Rodrigue Netti. And now some space. Here comes Bati Germain, caught by Seteriki Tuisuvu. Guitoun plays it out into the arms of Thibaut Flamand. Man who has become quite a staple now of the French international side. Verger once more, ex-France under-20 international. Netti charges into Danny Briseau, and the tectonic plates clash. Graou squeezes it out to Ramos, no way that way, so back he comes again. Little bit of ball inside, into Verger again. He's seeing plenty of the ball in this piece of possession. Graou trying to get the space. They can't find it. Bati Germain cuts back inside of Charles Olivon. No way through. Tuisuvu with another tackle. Marchand into Teddy Borbigny, and they're coming almost up to the 5-metre line, and an advantage as well. Not rolling away. The referee signals against a Toulon player. Graou, slightly slow ball. Good red and black line of defence. Holds off this phase of rugby. Ramos, well, he tried to kick through. It rebounded off the Toulon player. Back inside again to Guitoun. Guitoun can't get to the 5-metre line either. Brennan breaches it. They're in, inching their way forward. Marchand again, pick and go. Charges into Brian Alanoese. The huge second row forward. Over the top. And it's in. Lucas Touzin, the 25-year-old winger, with his 4th try of the season. Pressure, relentless pressure, paying off after 9 minutes. Battering rams trying to breeze their way through. Look where they started from. Then the break by Germain, brought down by Tuisuvu, but the support play was always there. It was long, it was slow, but it was effective. Lovely missed pass by the loose head prop Rodrigue Netti. And Pierre Mignoni's men are off to a bad start. So Thomas Ramos with a tough kick from the sideline. Oh, it's at the post. Well, Paolo Galbisi on the other side tonight will certainly appreciate that, having had it happen against Ramos's France in the Six Nations recently, that cost them a win against Les Bleus. Nevertheless, the first blow goes to Toulouse. It's 5-0. There is Garbisi, and not a great kick. And Toulon seem a little flustered. So then, ball out on the full, will come back for the scrum on the halfway line.
Ballon, s'il vous plaît. Allez, on y va, monsieur.
So then, big opportunity this for Toulouse. They could go either way here. Paul Graoul feeds. Solid, steady scrum this. That's really competitive. Toulouse are going to have to play this. Bati Serra wants to steal it. So Graoul is forced into an improvised pass and finds Guitoun out to Germain. Ball hit the Toulouse on the way forward, so everybody was played onside. Toulon have it again. Gigashvili smacks into Piola Fasuele, who then gets a couple of kicks as well from David Ribbons. He's South African-born England international, or as was, before he moved to France. A lot of pressure in England at the moment from various different quarters to release the clause that you can't play for England if you play outside of the Gallagher Premiership. So many of them coming to France. There was the little kick forward from Bati Germain that caught the Toulon ankle. First line out. And it's one. Graoul picks it up. Bati Germain comes back the other way, and Graoul nearly ran into the kick. Not the best kick. Tuisuva will pick it up and feeds it out to Melvin Jaminet, looking to make a statement against his former teammates, but it's brought down by Soufiane Guitoun. Here they come though. Leicester find Ganuku. The kick and run. Oh, it's a wrong bounce. And it bounces behind, and Bati Germain doesn't need to play it. So the choice of either the scrum or the drop-out 22. Looks like Ramos is going to take the latter. Well, it was a good tackle that stopped Jaminet, but Ganuku found the weak shoulder of the defender, but then just got a little bit too much lead into the shotgun with the kick forward. And Pierre Mignoni looks up at the sky again. It's not been the most composed start from Toulon. It's a game they really need to win. They haven't given up on a semi-final place at the end of the regular season. Ramos beaten to it by fellow France international Charles Olivon. And he comes to him now, Brian Allen-Oese, and here comes Ganuku down the other side, and they finally get over the line. Their first attack into the 22 brings back 5 points. The all-black winger, with his 6th try in top 14, having also scored against Bayonne in that crushing victory in Spain. Lovely hands, the extra man. They even had Tuisuva out there if needed. But the Fijian wasn't needed. And Toulon are right back in it with 15 minutes gone. What a signing he's been. Lester Fainganuku. Former Crusader in his first season with Toulon in France. And another chance here, just as hard as the last one, to get the 2 points for Melvin Jaminet, the former Toulouse fullback. Almost exactly from the same place. Well, the first one was a sighter, this one is better. And Toulon take the lead. Well, the two kickers on display today, Thomas Ramos and Melvin Jaminet. Ramos was probably the reason why Jaminet left Toulouse. Ramos making that number 15 position very much his own. And of course he has also been more than an adequate replacement as well when needed at fly half. Particularly in the absence of Romain Ntamak when he was long time injured. Julien Marchand, another man back recently. Nicely into the hands, and the driving ball goes. Could be a penalty here. No, there's definitely a Toulon man on the ground, but the referee, Monsieur Kerr, deciding to ignore that. Toulouse go to ball in hand, little bit loose. Very nicely taken by Delib, and here comes Thomas Ramos down the left-hand side. He can kick forward very well. Nicely picked up though by the left wing, Gabin Villiers, another of the French internationals, but they've gone over the try line. They've done well, they've got back across it. The last thing they wanted to do was give away a 5-metre scrum. Now though they'll be able to kick. Jaminet from almost behind the back line, and he finds touch. And Toulon do quite well at escaping that piece of danger. Well, it could have been a Toulon try, then it could have been a Toulouse one. Bounce didn't just quite work for Thomas Ramos, who was looking to kick it inside for his teammate. Delib there just getting caught behind Melvin Jaminet, who had a little look around, asking whether or not there was the possibility he was fouled. Nothing given, line out Toulouse. Julien Marchand. Very much the number one for France and Toulouse once upon a time, but Piato Mavaka has very much evened up that battle. Particularly taking advantage of the fact that Marchand got injured against New Zealand in the opening match of the Rugby World Cup. Here is Marchand again, gets away from one. Can't get away though from Cornel de Priat, the South African-born Scotland international. Holding on. No, diving in. By Mathis Castro Ferreira. Stopping the jackler. It was Brennan who had the ball. A couple of tries for the 22-year-old this season in his maiden pro try against Cast back in round 17. Scored another one since then, the very much week later actually, against Perpignan. Started off the season with a 6-week thigh injury, then had a few problems as well, another couple of months out with a rib injury. Won by Toulon, out by Serra, Power, the Samoan international. Silky skills, however, given away the penalty to Toulouse. Holding on after the tackle is the reason why that penalty has been given. Hugo Mola sharing out the chewing gum. as they chew away their nerves. They were terrific against Racing and against Exeter in the European Champions Cup break, through to their 16th semi-final in Europe's top-tier competition. Record champions in that competition as well. Last victory back in 2021. Since when La Rochelle have been the kings of Europe, but not this season. Knocked out by Leinster, who they'd beaten in the last two finals. Leinster having beaten Toulouse in the last two semis. Toulouse won't have to meet them this time, though. So Thomas Ramos with the first penalty kick for goal. Much easier, this one. Right in front of goal. That looks good, straight through. And it will put Toulouse back in front. Ange Capuzzo there, the Italian revelation, having to watch on tonight. He's got a hand injury that's keeping him out, along with the likes of Pierre-Louis Barassi, who has problems with his ribs, and Toulon, Placine with knee injuries, and Lolala with an Achilles tendon. Those three out for the rest of the season, unfortunately, for Toulouse. Two heavy hitters in the back row, Toulon and Placine, and a fabulous front rower in Nepo Lalola. Fed back by Julien Marchand. Paul Graou at the end of the capabella that Netty makes another run on. Graou finds touch. Graou having a terrific season and making the most of the absences this year of Antoine Dupont. 6 tries, including a hat-trick in round 15 against Oyonnax. Poa trying to bulldoze his way through Santiago Chocabarres, the Argentine international centre. Tuisuvu. He's brought down by Delib. Ribbons cut by the knees by Joshua Brennan. Good forward pressure again through the ruck by Toulouse. Turnover ball again. Brennan picks it up. Brought down by Danny Priso. Over halfway through the first half. A try on each side. Conversion missed by Toulouse, but Ramos making up for it with a penalty, which means it's a 1-point lead to the visitors, who don't have a good record against Toulon when they come here to the Stade Velodrome in Marseille. They're not too far away from Toulon, which is just away to the east from here. Knock-on advantage for Toulouse. Paul Graou decides to go up for it, and it's taken by Tuisuvu, which brings play to an end, and they'll come back for the infringement.
L'avantage, il est pas significatif. On revient ici, à l'avant rouge, mais les noirs.
Olivon just inquiring whether or not they could have played on, but the referee saying no. He was hoping, I think, that the advantage had ended. So we come back for the knock-on. I said an infringement, of course it was only a knock-on. Toulouse have lost or won the least amount of put-ins to their own scrum of any of the 14 clubs in top 14 this season. Toulon have won the most. Toulouse have won 94. Toulon 141. Toulon, though, are rather mid-table when it comes to winning the ball against the head in scrummaging this season. Let's see what happens in this one. Big push. And the penalty goes to Toulon. Rodrigue Nieti is the man who's been penalised for loosening his bind and then cutting in, which gives Melvin Jaminet the chance to gain some ground. Oh, he's hooked that a little bit. Apologies for the French you heard there from him. He hooked that rather badly. That is not quite the distance he was looking for.
Allez, ici.
Huge push through by Mathys Castro Ferreira. Very aggressive in rucking when Toulon have been in possession. It's been a great find this season as Mathys Castro Ferreira. 1m92, 107 kilos. 16 stone in old money, 235 if you're watching in the States. Pounds, that is. Teddy Bobineau, who broke his hand against Bayonne back in August, gets that feed in well, trying to set up the maul, but again, good pushing. However, Brian Aloisi has left everybody behind, and it was Paul Graou trying to stop his forward momentum. Ribbons. Borbigny inside the 22. Out by Garbisi. Haven't seen too much of the Toulon scrum half, or sorry, the fly half tonight, but they've got a penalty. Going in off your feet. Results in a penalty. David Ayonu has had a haircut since I last saw him in his first match back after his calf injury that kept him out for a couple of months. Manu was part of the Brennus winning side of 2021. Also played 3 matches in the Champions Cup as well that they also won. Not many sides have won the double. Toulouse have done it quite a lot. So then this one looks as though it's pretty easy as well. Ramos at one end, Jaminet at the other. Smiles all around the stadium. Toulon up to double figures. But it is still tight for Pierre Mignoni's men. So then Toulon now looking for the clean exit.
C'est bon. Jouez là, 9.
So he's technically got 6 seconds now to play this. Finds touch. Ramos catches but decides not to take it quickly, with a good kick chase coming in from Toulon's players. Well, that didn't work out at all. It's come off the chest, according to the assistant, the touch judge on that far side. Anthony Etriard watching on. Looks very happy considering he's not playing. Man out with an Achilles tendon injury.
Flexion. Lié. Chaud.
Big push by Toulon. However, it's come back the other side with Castro Ferreira taking it directly and punched forward by Santiago Chocabares. Raul. Advantage being played for Toulouse. Germain out wide. Nice little break. Ramos trying to find the edge again. Brennan cuts back inside. Good defence so far from Toulon. Germain flat pass into David Ayonu, the US international tight head prop. US, of course, didn't qualify for the Rugby World Cup this time around. There was no advantage at the end of that for Hugo Moller's men, so the referee, Ludovic Kerr, will bring us across to the near side for a penalty. As Ramos gets up, wiping his nose and hoping there's no blood coming out of it. Julien Marchand is the man who is the captain. Maybe he's forgotten there. He wasn't looking at the referee when he was talking to him. Great break again by Mathis, Castro Ferreira. The two half-backs for Toulon doing their best to bring him down. This was the rake. Looks like he had his nose rammed into the turf by Setariki Tuisuvu. Crowd are watching this and asking whether or not it should have been a more than just the penalty for that high tackle by the Toulon right wing. As it is, another central kick here for Thomas Ramos, but from much further out. He's just got that one wide of the post. It's a second miss from Ramos in the game. And it remains 10-8.
Allez, on y va, 10 s'il vous plaît.
Hugo Moller, who played for Toulouse from 1990 to 1996. French and European champion as player and coach now. Was a time early on in his tenure where there was pressure on him to be sacked, but those at the top of Toulouse, very understandably, not willing to play ball, and Didier Lacroix keeping his faith with his manager, and it has paid off in spades since then. Bati Germain decides that there weren't options out wide, so cut back inside. Graou doesn't seem to know where to go. David Ribbons was standing in his way. He finds Marchand. Marchand does well there. They were going backwards and he's turned it into some forward momentum. 7 minutes to go in the half. Again, the kick comes.
No.
That ball is not out, says the referee to Baptiste Serrin, who was the bright young thing of scrum halves in France once upon a time before the arrival of Antoine Dupont. Melvin Jaminet was the man who was trying to take that in the air and ended up knocking it on.
Pour moi, ils sont au même niveau, il n'y a pas de... Allez, on revient ici. En avant rouge et noir.
Here he comes, just slightly on the wrong line of attack to take that ball. Slightly up and down first half for the former Toulouse star. Man who represented France before, he was a top-flight player. Melvin Jaminet, whilst he was still playing for Perpignan. Helped them to promotion. Perpignan have been fighting against relegation ever since they came back up, but are looking a lot more strident now.
Allez, on y repart de suite. Allez, faut que ça soit bon dès la première. La deuxième est toujours très bien, dès la première, s'il vous plaît.
Perpignan with 4 wins in a row now. They're up to 7th. And for a side that was down the bottom of the table earlier on in the campaign, not quite as low as Montpellier, but certainly in the bottom 2, they now are only 1 point out the top 6. Incredible turnaround in events. Little reminiscent of what Toulon did a couple of seasons ago. Toulon, though, missed out on the playoffs at the end of the season. Brennan for Toulouse. Champions on course to reach another playoff at the end of this season, but will it be in the top two? Will it be top, or will they have to play the barrage? Last time they played the barrage, they lost. They beat La Rochelle, but got beaten by Castres in the semi-final in the season that Montpellier won the title. That seems like a very long time ago, even though it was only 2 years. Montpellier doing everything they can to stay in the top flight. Another defeat today for the 2022 Brennus winners. That's a great kick. It's not going to make touch, though. In the 22, says the referee, so can find touch. And Ramos blows his cheeks out. So there was a little bit of indecision there from the French international half-back stroke full-back. Ramos started all 5 of the France's Six Nations matches this time. At full-back against Ireland, Scotland and Italy, and then switching to fly half against Wales and England. Such a versatile back. Teddy Bobigny here is going to look for Olivon and finds him. In fact, it was Cornel Depré. Gigashvili throws himself at it, but Toulouse just managed to scramble the ball back. Ramos back the other way. Forward by Clément Verger, but not very far. Marchand trying to get away from Brian Alanois, who just about got enough on him. Germain feeds it back inside once more, and away comes Castro Ferreira again. Kick over the top by Grau. Underneath it, Jamane Ramos has done well, but Fanganuku rescues Toulon. It is all in here in the loose. Good kick. Bounces and then into touch. Very close for Jamane. I think he again was looking for longer. Kicking hasn't been sensational yet in this game.
Sur vous, s'il vous plaît.
It's Bati Serra, French international, but not for a while. Not retained for the Rugby World Cup, having played in the Summer Nations series. Several weeks out with a dislocated shoulder that he picked up against Exeter back in December, the team that Toulouse knocked out in the quarterfinals last weekend. Big rush here by Toulouse. Marchand smacks his French international teammate Charles Olivon out of the way. Back they come the other way. Chocobare's on. Quick ball, better. Guitoun trying to get that ball away to Bati Germain. Grau has it instead. Ooh, big hit from Alanoise, and the TMO might have a look at that. Matis Castro Ferreira took a hit. And the giant Samoan international could well be visiting the sin bin after that. See there, Hugo Mola talking with Jean Bouillou, the forwards coach. Well, there's going to surely be an HIA here for the Toulouse number 8. And the referee just saying that they are going to have a look at it. There is Alanoise. 17th start of his 24 games this season. So the 2'2", 135 kilogram second row forward. Here's the hit. Right into his chin. Howie, I do not think he's going to avoid the yellow card here. Well, they might.
pour moi, il est droit déjà en bas. Je veux juste le point de contact, Cyril, s'il te plaît.
Le contact à la tête.
So they're now looking for the point of impact.
Ouais. Pour moi, il y a une légère baisse, mais qui n'est pas significative. Le plaqueur, il est toujours haut. Il y a de la force et de la vitesse. On a clairement un contact à la tête. C'est du jeu déloyal, ok. Le plaqueur est haut. On a un degré de danger qui est élevé. Et je ne vois pas de facteur atténuant. Est-ce que vous êtes d'accord avec ça?
Well, they could be edging towards a red card here,
Ça me convient.
by the sounds of it.
Monsieur le réalisateur.
High degree of danger being said by the referee. He's such a big man trying to get down, but it's no excuse, and he is going up against a 1m92 back row forward, so it's not the sort of excuse you would have up against a scrum half or a fly half. He's off. Well, he gets a hug from his teammates, but that's a big blow for Toulon. First yellow card, first red card in top 14 rugby. The only one he's had before that was in Pro 12 action for Glasgow back in the 2016-17 season. It's not a man who's sent off very often. Well, this changes things significantly. It's the first red card second red card that Toulon have had this season. Jamie Sanzel sent off in the win over Castres well back in the season. So then inside the last minute, Ramos here with a chance to put Toulouse back in front. But more significantly, they'll play the second half with a man advantage. Ramos has hit this better. And it brings to an end the first half, in which both sides hit hard, scored a try each. But at half-time, it is Toulon 10, Toulouse 11, with Brian Aloisi off for a dangerously high tackle. So then we are going to kick off again. The hooter came just after that piece of action. So we play again. Olivon's lost it though. However, Paul Grau is not interested in continuing. He hooks it into touch. And there's a slightly mixed atmosphere inside the Stade Velodrome here in Marseille, where Toulon are playing host to Toulouse today. Brian Aloisi has been sent off, but it is Toulouse who have the lead, with the advantage of a man more for the whole of the second half.
Pour analyser cette première mi-temps, Charles, forcément, il y a
So
ce
let's
fait de
analyse
match
this
qui risque
first half.
de tout
Charles
changer.
Olivon.
Comment se réorganiser, comment rester dans ce match?
How can you reorganise yourself and stay in the
Pas
match?
forcément l'habitude aussitôt, mais on le travaille à l'entraînement, on va s'adapter.
Yeah, well, we don't really have this opportunity to do this much in games, but we have been training for this sort of eventuality in training, so we'll do our best. Julien Marchand, the Toulouse captain today.
C'est un gros match. Il y a ce
Big
fait de
match.
jeu avec le carton rouge. Qu'est-ce qui va se passer en deuxième période?
And what will the red match, what will the card do to the match?
On va continuer à s'y filer nous, ça c'est ce qu'on peut
Well, it won't
maîtriser.
affect us, we'll just continue what we've been doing.
Une bonne entame pour la seconde mi-temps, s'y donner.
Keep up the rhythm for the second half.
Grosse équipe de Toulon, donc voilà, le match il est pas
Try to
terminé.
wear down a great team of Toulon. This match is definitely not over yet.
Merci, Julien.
So then, 2 tries, Touzan first, then Fanganuku for Toulon, heading the host in front. Couple of missed penalties by Ramos, or a couple of missed kicks at least. One missed kick as well by Jaminet. Alan Oase sending off though could well be the most significant moment in that half, though. We will find out in the second half. So then the second half to come. Stay with us for that. We'll be back soon. Welcome back to the Stade Velodrome in Marseille. We are not at the Félix Mayol. There's this great battle between Toulon and Toulouse, the two clubs that play in red and black. And it was Toulouse who got off to the fastest start 5 minutes in. Julien Marchand playing as captain tonight in the absence of Antoine Dupont and several other main starters for the champions. Lovely ball out by Netty and the touchdown in the corner by Lucas Touzin, confident that he got the ball down. Referee and TMO agreed. And the 80th try of Toulouse's season, getting them off to the perfect start. Well, almost perfect start. Thomas Ramos unable to convert what was a difficult kick from this near touchline. And Pierre Mignoni on his own this season after Francazema moved back to Perpignan and is finally getting them to go in the right direction. Pignoni is doing the same thing for a Toulon side that haven't made it into the playoffs since 2018, and that was Lester Fainga'anuku, one of the men who's come in to replace Chester Colby, who's gone off to Japanese rugby. Man who played for both Toulouse and Toulon. Lovely play outside, the overlap created, the extra man. They didn't actually need Tuisuvu in the end. And Fainga'anuku continuing his very fine first season in France, sampling the delights of the South after playing in the World Cup with New Zealand. Knows what it's like to win as well, winning Super Rugby with Crusaders. However, this was probably the main moment. Matis Castro Ferreira hit high by Brian Allen Oese, who knew, I think, immediately the trouble that was coming his way. And the big man off. And Toulon will have to play the whole of the second half with 14 men as a result of that indiscretion. So missed kicks by both Ramos and Jaminet. 2 by Ramos, run by the former Toulouse star Jaminet. It is 1 point between the two sides, but Toulon now with a big job ahead of them. They will surely have to sacrifice a back, bring on a forward, because they are missing a big man in the second row. See there, Toulouse with most of the possessions despite being the away side, and that was even before the sending off. Most of the territory too. Only 3 penalties on each side. However, one of them, of course, resulting in that red card. Well, a win tonight for Toulouse by 4 points or by a bonus point 5 points will not be enough for them to catch up with Stade Francais. They would still be in second place. However, with Racing, who themselves are coming back to form, former leaders themselves, 4-match winning run they're now on. They're in third, with La Rochelle again losing ground. And even though they went above Toulon with their bonus point defeat earlier in the day, a victory tonight for Toulon would send them back above them. But that red card has diminished that possibility quite considerably. Who would have thought that Ronan O'Gara's men might actually have gained a place from having been beaten? A little bit inconsistent, out of Europe now, beaten by Leinster, the team they've beaten in the last 2 European Champions Cup finals. Pau make up the top 6 at the moment. Toulon are in 5th. As we get underway again, Bati Germa up with the kick and brought down again by Esteban Abadi, man who became a full French international in this season's French side in the Six Nations. Grand Slam winners in 2022. Ireland took their crown last year and they've retained it this time around as well. France got off to one of their worst starts, but pulled things around late on. Maybe a little bit of a hangover from the disappointment of the World Cup. That's been stolen by Danny Priso. Away comes the French international loose head prop, out by Serrat. then by Garbisi. By Ganuku, who scored Toulon's try in the first half. Feeds it back into the path of the French international scrum half. Beka Gigashvili, the Georgian international tight head prop, goes forward. Good push. Brennan, helped by Graou, who is a man who is never shy of getting amongst the defensive action. It's a good kick. It's gone backwards from Bati Germain, despite the appeals by the crowd. That's well taken by Jaminet. Nice offloading. Toulon on the run, on the move, coming forward. Serra out to Paolo Garbisi. Italian wanted to make the break but was brought down. Serra feeds into Ribbons. He's hit by Graou, who takes down the second row forward, the little scrum half. Garbisi back out once more into the hands of Duncan Paoa, the Samoan international centre. Serra waiting. Garbisi. Tuisuvu steps back inside of Touzin, who was Toulouse's try scorer in the first half. Charles Olivon. No way through there. Black line edging across, creating the defensive structure. Gigashvili again. Lines up Marchand. Doesn't try to go through him though. Garbisi. Long pass out wide. Paoa recycles, keeps it in. And it's well taken. But holding on, isolation. Priso couldn't arrive in time. Well, Toulon feeling a little hard done by, but great work by Chocobares. Again, it's not the aggressive kick, to be honest with you. Well, this was the break by Jaminet. Managing to get past Bati Germain. Offloads. Also by Abadi. He was the man who went down. Paoa feeds it into the French international back row forward. But in the end, he tried to offload, but it was all to no avail as Marchand sends in the line out. Picked up by Brennan. Abadi, or rather Olivon, told to let go and get round on his own side. Marchand breaks off and goes into fellow hooker Bobigny. Raoul digs it out and decides to go for the kick. Outside the 22, taken by Tuisuvu. Tuisuvu tried to run all the way around and find the edge. Can't find it, so he goes through instead of round. Gains a couple of extra meters. Again, good rucking by Toulouse, but this time they can't steal the ball. They managed to do that quite a few times in the first half. Serra wanted to kick, but Graou stopped him doing it. Finally, the kick is away. Outside the 22 again, so no mark. It'll come back again, and not a bad little kick off the outside of the boot, but well caught by Jaminet. He looks high. In the end, there's no kick chase. Ramos again, same tactic. Different player picks it up. Garbisi this time. Kicks high. This time he chases. Taken by Ramos, and he manages to offload before the arrival of the Toulon fly half. And Serra decides this time he'll call for the mark. Mati Serra, 7th start in his 14 appearances this season. That's been disrupted by that dislocated shoulder in the Champions Cup. And he scored 2 tries and 3 conversions in the European Champions Cup final, or European Challenge Cup final, excuse me, last season. Charles Olivon there. Such an important figure in this Toulon side. A leader on the pitch. Pierre Mignoni going steadily more and more red under the stress of it all. It's nicely taken by Thibaut Flamand. trying to get the driving maul going, but Toulon are doing a good job of stalling that. So out it goes to Chocobares, big hit on Germain, but still gets the pass away. Dimitri Delib bounces off of Tuisuvu, who was trying to put him into touch, but it was really good resistance by the away side's winger. Off goes Toulouse once more. Referee's happy, turnover ball, Garbisi gets it to Deprez, Gigashvili. Olivan, nice play from the forwards, feeding along the line. Ribbons out to Duncan Power. He slips through a man and gets it into Batistera. Oh, and it's knocked on by David Ribbons and brings to a halt a really promising attack. Well, Clément Verger is the man being congratulated, but it was just an error of handling from his opposite number. David Ribbons, who is enjoying his first season in France with Toulon, having come in from Northampton, who are enjoying life in the Gallagher Premiership without him, to be honest, and also in continental action as well. Toulon did not enjoy their European exploits this time around, finishing bottom of their Champions Cup group. That meant that they were eliminated from continental action completely. Oh, Duncan Power has had to come off. Well, it's getting worse for Toulon. And that means that Juto Anakolo will come on. Hardly a step down in quality, the Fijian international. So unfortunately, there's a Power then. Good push by Toulouse, and they're going to get the penalty for it. Well, the Toulon scrum missing Brian Allen-Oese now to that red card at the end of the first half has really removed some solidity in the spine. It's not gone out. Jaminet can kick it back again. That's a huge kick. That's much more like it. His best kick of the match, bar none. He'll be much happy with that. Well, it was always going to be tough in the second half, as the Toulon staff watch on from up hole. Where's the ball gone? Looks like it's on the ground. Referee says he can see it. Yet he told he's not needed. They're not going to kick this time. Castro Ferreira, the man who was hit so hard that it resulted in the red card for Allen-Oese. Two Samoan internationals who've had to go off, one to a red card, one to injury. With Duncan Power watching on from the bench. Another good kick coming back then. Referee says you're not allowed to take it. Didn't see that, maybe it was with the wrong ball. Well, 10 minutes into the second half, no change of the score. It's like the sending off has slightly destabilised both sides. Toulouse said that they wouldn't change their tactics at half-time, but it's difficult not to. Bobigny. It's nicely taken by Abadi. However, dropped again by Bobigny, but backwards was it?
Prends le bras.
So a penalty given against Clément Verger. Not allowed to pull the arm away. So Jaminet looks like he's getting his range a bit better now, but it's still just outside the 22. It's always a risk when you go for the corner to get it slightly wrong. There you see the arm being pulled away from Esteban Abadi by Clément Verger in the air, which is not allowed as Paul Coste. Looks like he's about to strip off, is he? Come on for Toulouse. Toulon, though, are on the charge at the moment, driving forward. Crowd getting behind them. Good progress being made. Down it goes. Penalty advantage. Toulouse have brought that down. Thibaut Flamand is probably the man that will be penalised, with his hands all over the ball on the ground. Danny Priso will get up with it, though. Yep, Flamand, number 6, as signalled by the referee, bringing down that driving maul, and Teddy Bobigny deciding that they'll take the 3 points and get themselves back in front again. Alvin Jaminet with 144 points. In total, 120 of them in top 14. And another 3. And Toulon get themselves back in front. The 14 men will take every point they can. Mathis of Castro Ferrer is going to come off, and Jack Willis will come on, who's been in sensational form in top 14 and Champions Cup action of late. Former England international, and a big miss for that setup. Decided to sign an extension with Toulouse that definitely rules him out of England contention. Why he didn't go to the Six Nations, but that was all a bonus for Toulouse in that period. And Emmanuel Meafou has come on for Fasuele in the second row. Himself became a French international, finally ending a long saga of eligibility when the Six Nations started. Couple of appearances for him. France very excited to bring him into the setup. Swan Rabage used to be struggling to get back into reckoning of Fabien Galtier's plans. It's well taken by Joshua Brennan. It's gone back. They're trying to dig that out. It's Jack Willis who decides to pick and go himself, and he's taking on 3 Toulon defenders. Grau getting Serrat off the ball. Forward by Netty.
Là, on n'est pas sur le ballon.
Ramos, little kick through, too close though to Paolo Garbisi, who comes off the outside of the Italian's boot though, and gains all of about 4 metres. So, perfect for Toulouse. All set up by Brennan. Fed back into the path of Ribbons. Sergio Parise been brought into the Toulouse setup, or the Toulon setup this season. Former great Italian himself, in charge of line-outs now. It's been caught by Toulon. We've got to be careful on that concrete on the outside of the pitch. Might have been almost better had he not caught that. A little bit too much on it from Graul. Well, there's not much grass on the outside of this pitch. So he comes across the artificial turf and then straight onto the concrete. And unfortunately, studs are not really agreeable with concrete, but he didn't fall over. Teddy Bomini with the line out. Can't get there, Ribbons, can't get it. Toulouse take it though back. Good result in the end, bit mucky. But they'll take that as Chocobares goes to ground. Graul, Marchand, on to Flamand. French internationals linking up. Graul back out once more into the path of Toulon. Referee making sure that Toulon players remain onside. Emmanuel Meafou with his first charge forward, releases. Turnover ball though, holding on after the tackle. It's Joel Merkler, the replacement tight head prop, who looks like he's taken a blow to his head. And Bati Serrat telling him not to move whilst help comes for the Spanish international, who played no part in Spain's latest Rugby Europe Championship campaign. It was ultimately won again by Georgia with Beka Gigashvili. Nice handoff by Meafou. Not quite sure how the cut happened, maybe there. Just with the studs, perhaps. Yeah, there. A little moral victory for Pierre Mignoni to celebrate.
Baptiste, come.
Well, the Toulouse injured. Seem to be enjoying the action at the moment. Toulouse definitely favourites to win this now. They'll be very disappointed if they don't come away with this. Great chance here to improve their record at the Stade Velodrome, which has not been great against Toulon in recent years. Well, that's oof. No wonder Serra went to see if he was okay. Totally accidental, but nasty. Well, a shake of the head by Moller, but certainly did not look to lead. Lost his balance. The scrum half for Toulon. Don't think a head injury assessment will probably be necessary here. It's more of a cut than anything else. So then, all patched up, bandages to go. I wonder if you can see out of that right eye now. After all that, it is still a Toulon penalty, which Jaminet tries to send in to the 22. And again, has not quite managed it. Well, the kicking's got a bit better from Jaminet. He can be mercurial and brilliant, but lacks the consistency of Ramos, which is why he's struggled to get into the France international setup of late. That's well taken though. Oliver took it. Down goes the maul. Penalty advantage to Toulon. Serran says, I've got the ball. To Isumu, lovely. Leicester find Minuku trying to break away. Try number 2 is in. He'll get there. Another 5-pointer for the All Black. And the 14 men of Toulon without Brian and Oase have managed to increase their lead over the champions Toulouse. No wonder Baptiste Serrat wanted to carry on. Great work to start with. Olivon taking the line out. Toulouse bringing down the resulting driving maul. Advantage called. Ball fed back. Lovely play by Tuasuvu into Fanganuku. And there's one thing he can be guaranteed to do when the try line is there, is break through the tackles. Momentum taking him there. And Toulon have a 7-point lead.
Vous êtes bon, mais vous pouvez pas écrouler.
And surely that will be a 9-point lead, because this is as much of an open goal inside a football stadium as a rugby player can possibly hope to get. Through it goes. And Toulon lead by 20 points to 11. Gaël Dréhan watches on and nods his head approvingly. Power, pace, poise, try.
On lâche droit. Non, lâchez, le ballon est là. Non, 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 non.
Allez, la verge. Le pied.
On la joue neuf.
Away by Serrat. Crowd are still chatting and very excitedly talking about that score. Well, if there was ever a mark of how much better a side Toulon are this season than in the last few, maybe that try sums it up. There's belief now in Toulon. Transferred to Marseille tonight. But we still have 20 minutes to go. And they still have to fend off the top try scorers in the division. The semi-finalists again in the Champions Cup. And the reigning record 22-time Brenos lifting champions of France, Toulouse. But it's an accidental offside, which means there'll be a scrum. Well, something lifts Toulon when they come to Marseille. This stadium is wonderful for football, and it proves just as good when the rugby men come to town as well. Look at all the amount of tackles that Toulon have had to put in tonight, and they've only missed 18. Toulouse about to make a change with Alexandre Rouma about to come on. Replacement in the back row. Here comes a Toulon back rower, Charles Olivon. His fellow French international has dropped the ball though and given up possession. Delibes pounces on it. Wainakolo trying to get it back, but Jack Willis shielding it. Round the wrong side is Esteban Abadi. Lucky he didn't get pinged for a penalty there. Grow. Charging forward is Marchand, and he's hit back by Jean-Baptiste Gros. Man who is Cyril Bay's backup for France for the last few years. Cyril Bay given the night off tonight for Toulouse. Kitoun has been dropped as well. So there's no advantage, the referee will bring it back. Slight looks of disagreement sneaking onto the faces of Toulouse. 2 scores behind now, with 17 minutes to go. We are set for a grandstand finish here at the Velodrome. Toulouse forced to start with 4 locked forwards tonight. Verger, Fassuele, who's now gone off, Flamand and Brennan. The latter two playing in the back row. Roumat and Coste about to come on, so changing the forwards, changing the backs coming up. Paul Coste, one of the generation of French under-20 world champions from last summer. Meanwhile, though, this to pull it back to a converted try. In the middle of the park, through by Ramos, and it's a 7-point game with around 15 minutes to go. So Coste on, Roumat on. Of course, it's a 6-point game, but it's still a converted try to win it. So off comes the youngster, Clément Verger. And the veteran, Sofiane Guitoun, was the man to give way to Paul Coste. David Ribbons penalised, I think, for playing the ball on the ground in the ruck. It's Maxime Petitjean talking to Pierre Mignoni. Petitjean, the man who's in charge of strategy and kicking. And a change at hooker. Julien Marchand comes off and will be replaced by Guillaume Cramont, who was the man who benefited the most from the absences of Movaca and Marchand over this season. Started the last 3 matches on the bench, though, with the return of the 2 top stars in the hooking position for the champions. See the blood beginning to come out again there on the face of Joël Mecla, 22-year-old tight head prop, who came on for David Ayenu on the right-hand side of the scrum. Toulouse have lost their last 2 away games. It's the first time they've won back-to-back away games since November in Top 14. They might make it 3 for the first time since that period if they lose again today, which at the moment doesn't look unlikely. Jean-Baptiste Gros, who found himself playing hooker for Toulon in recent games. Back comes Jaminet. Comes across the near side, sees some space. It's a really good kick. Villiers manages to get there. No knock-on, says the referee, however. Touzin. Referee has seen something now, though. So there is a knock-on somewhere here. By Villiers in the end, was it? It's a brilliant kick by Jaminet. Put Touzin in all types of trouble. Well, it can't be Villiers, surely, who's knocked that on, I don't think. Still struggling to see where the knock-on was there. Beka Gigashvili has been replaced by the Englishman Kieran Brooks at tight head prop for Toulon. Kieran Brooks, another ex-England international in this Toulon setup, along with David Ribbons in the second row. Well, scrums will suit Toulon. Off the back, all loose. Villiers just about manages to get in, and now he goes on an elusive run, pulled back by Brennan. Keeps the ball in. Great work by the wing. Swan Rabaj has come on as well, who was a Marseille supporter, football supporter as a boy, grew up in this area. Rayan, his brother, away with the France under-7s, and could well be playing with Antoine Dupont come the Olympic Games in the summer. Grau goes aerial. Jaminet swallowed up, no chance to kick back this time by the fullback. Serra, though, is there to get things going. Jean-Baptiste Gros did a good job actually at hooker, did Gros. Not easy to switch from prop to hooker. This is Germain. Little hop and a skip trying to get through, but didn't fool Toulon's defenders. Serra thought the ball was there to be had, but the referee told him to get away. Merkle feeds it out. Cost, first chance really, he goes up against Fanganuku and is held up by the All Black, trying to turn this into a maul. Has he ripped the ball away? Not quite. Jack Willis has it, tidying up the mess. Paul Grau didn't seem to be aware that the ball was out. However, he finally got hold of it. Messy possession this. Thomas Ramos with the little kick through. Serra following it. No advantage for the knock-on, so we're going to come back for a scrum. So it will be a scrum to Toulouse. Great play by Fanganuku, though. First on the attack. This was the first try for Fanganuku in the first half. Again, look how many men he breaks through, so many challenges. This the second try. No wonder they flock to him. On comes Dan Bigger at fly half. The ex-Welsh international and Lions star to replace Paolo Garbisi. A little bit of talk in the media after the president of Toulon, Bernard Lemaitre, started commenting about his lack of form after that injury that he suffered, trying to take a conversion of a Charles Olivon try earlier in the season, pulling up on the conversion. He seems fairly zen about it, though, wants to stay until the end of 2025. It's off of Paul Grau. Knock on, and Talib can't take the pass, and it goes straight out. Under 10 minutes to go. Deliberate knock on, which Serra knows. There's been yellow cards for things like that before, but the referee feeling forgiving. Germain looks for distance. Doesn't find really very much. There is the touch. And then Chokabara is just getting a little bit too much of a cannon throw. As there's a change at scrum half then. Ben White, the Scotland international, is going to come on to replace Baptiste Serra. Ben White back from a concussion that he picked up against Montpellier. In their last home game, but that was at the Stade Félix Mayol, which Toulon absolutely won by 54-7. A mullering they've given in the last couple of weeks. Scored 100 points exactly in their last 2 games, aggregately. There is Bigger. First kick into space in the 22. Is it going to stop in time? It is. Good kick. Toulouse trying to get rid of it from inside their own 5-metre line. Not gone out, so back comes Melvin Jaminet. Decides not to kick this time. Taken down by Alexandre Rouma. Ben White gets his hands on the ball for the first time. David Ribbons. That's loose by Toulon. Not releasing. And looks like a baddie went in off his feet as well. Referee hasn't given the explanation yet. So Toulouse in the end, after some poor play themselves, have the chance here to put some real pressure on. Better kick into the 22. Good disrupting to start with, but you can see there, Ribbons emphatically not releasing after the tackle. Jean-Baptiste Gros needs some attention. Front row forward for Toulon. I think is a problem with contact lenses. Jack Singleton is on now at hooker, ex-England international. He's only started 4 times, Singleton, the former Gloucester man. Former Saracens. And you can see there, fiddly things at the best of times, contact lenses, but when you're trying to hurry up whilst the game is going on, even worse. Toulon fans enjoying their trip down the coastline. They'll enjoy it even more if they hang on for the last 6 or 7 minutes. Toulouse couldn't have gone top anyway, even if they won with a 5-pointer tonight, the extra attacking bonus point. But one thing they won't want to do is lose ground on Stade Francais, and more than that, allow Racing to stay within touching distance of them in that second automatic place through to the semi-finals. Looking a little more relaxed now is Pierre Mignoni. He'd be very proud of the way that the 14 men of Toulon have responded, as Kieran Brooks, like, he's now got a little bit of a cut on his forehead. All part of being a front row forward. Garbanvilliers was talking about the strains of playing rugby, just accepting the fact that a lot of the time you're playing through the pain, and maybe one injury hides another. He ended up having to have surgery on his neck. Here comes Toulouse. Toulouse looking for it, and they've got the try. Merkler. How have they squeezed through there? Bloody right eye and all. But the Spanish international replacement tight head prop has somehow stretched an arm out, and Toulon are sucker punched. And all of a sudden the game is falling apart for Toulon. Holding out for so long, but that absence of Brian Alanoese beginning to now suffer them. Merkler, look at the arm, will reach through the pile of bodies. There he is, pops it down. And it's a first try in professional rugby for the 22-year-old prop. And is it going to win it for Toulouse right here at the end against Toulon? Merkler needs more running repairs, but he won't care. Ramos to put them in front, and he's missed it. And Toulon survive in front. A third missed kick of the match. And the crowd don't quite know whether to laugh or cry at the moment. What a finish. Hugo Moller looks like he can barely watch. 4 minutes to go. Toulon 20, Toulouse 19. And if you thought that the match earlier between Stade Francais and Bayonne was a thriller, well, this one promises the same sort of finale. Well, Toulon find themselves in the same position as Bayonne. With 3 minutes to go, they just need to keep hold of the ball. And better than that, they've got a penalty. And Dan Bigger will step up. This would be huge. If he can slot this, then they would be 4 points ahead. Which means, oh, they're not going for it. They're going to go for possession and try to ride this out and maybe score the try. Brave. They need to win this line out. If they win this line out, the win is a possibility. It's a risk. Singleton, his first throw. Abadi just about does enough. Toulon just on the 5 metre line. Olivon feeds it back. The forwards keep it. Not surprising. Not ready to release the backs yet. Wear down the opposition, wear down the clock. Just over 2 minutes to go. It's a bit of an arse, this. The slightest mistake will result in turnover ball. They have the advantage though, the penalty advantage. Well, surely after what they did last time, they'll go for the corner again here. Another chance to wipe another minute off of the clock. This would be an incredible win. The whole of the second half played with 14 men. They do, unsurprisingly, go for the corner. Discipline being demanded by Dan Bigger. What a finish. Top 14 delivering in the drama stakes. Tension time at the velodrome, but he's overthrown it. But wait. What's the referee given? It's so noisy in the velodrome, I can't hear the referee. Toulon have got away with one there. The wrong number of Toulouse players in the line out. Oh, what a mistake for Hugo Moller's men. Time is off, but we're inside the final minute. Blood pressure of Pierre Mignoni going up again. They're going to tap and go. Jack Singleton. Now then, what will come off the training pitch here? Not much by the looks of it. That didn't look much like a training ground move. However, they hold it. 40 seconds to go. Ribbons. All they need to do is keep it where they are. Brooks. Just another phase of play used up. Gros tries to go round. Gets a meter. The last 10 seconds coming up. They're nearly there. They don't need the try. They'll just take the win. 80 minutes. And Dan Bigger can kick it into the Stade Velodrome stands. And Toulon, against all odds, have won this game with 14 men for the whole of the second half. 2 tries from Leicester Fanganuku, proving the game winners in the end, as it finishes Toulon 20, the champions Toulouse 19. Stade Francais stay top, and after a thriller in Paris, a thriller here in Marseille, and neither of the football teams were needed. A little kiss from Hugo Mola. He knows what Pierre Mignoni's side have done there. There is Fanganuku, man of the match for me. 2 game line busting tries, earning the victory for Toulon against all odds. Melvin Jaminet gets victory against the side he left this season. And Toulon stay in the race for a top 2 finish. 55 points now, they go back above La Rochelle in the table. 2 points behind Racing. And 5 points, 6 points behind Toulouse, who do pick up the defensive bonus point. Well, what a day. After Stade Francais came from behind to win it in the last 10 seconds against Bayonne at the Stade Jean-Bouin, Toulon managed to hold on to their slim advantage against Toulouse. Well, there is Brian Analoese hiding under the hoodie, but he'll feel a lot better about things now that his side have actually won, despite his sending off right before the half-time hooter. French international teammates. Julien Marchand talking to Baptiste Serrin, who's not quite in the same setup, but from the same generation as Marchand. Melvin Jaminet with Gaël Dréan. Esteban Abadi. Giant game for him in the back row. And you can see there as well, another legend of French rugby, Mathieu Bastereau, who's the team manager these days of Toulon. Man who has played among the backs and in the pack. Let's talk to Baptiste Serrin then, the Toulon scrum half.
On vous a vu sortir en deuxième période et plus tenir en place sur cette fin de match. Qu'est-ce qu'elle représente, cette victoire?
So what does this victory represent for you?
Bah déjà le fait de ne pas avoir lâché Brian qui lui fait des performances majuscules depuis des années, et je pense qu'on lui devait minimum ça.
Brian Allarese, who's played brilliantly for the last few years,
il faut savoir gagner moche.
Was bad. We had to reorganize.
Ce soir, on n'a pas été flamboyant, loin de là.
We weren't flamboyant. We were a long way from that.
Un peu plus que nous par moment, mais bon, on a le mérite d'avoir rien lâché. Après le carton rouge, c'est toujours compliqué comme une équipe comme ça.
We gave away a few penalties.
Pour moi, ils ont 2 ou 3 équipes pour jouer le top 6, ça s'est encore vu ce soir, donc voilà, non, juste
But we've
nous,
beaten one of the top 6 players, and that'll do us a lot of good.
Victoire consécutive, toute la palette y passe. On avait vu beaucoup d'actions, beaucoup de jeux, beaucoup d'essais sur les 2 matchs précédents. Là, c'est un peu plus fermé.
3 wins in a row now for you. We've seen lots of action in the last 2 games. This one was more of a victory of character.
Ouais, c'est sûr.
Yeah, that's right.
Dur après les 2 derniers matchs.
It was hard to keep on going with what we did so well in the last 2 matches.
Mais non, voilà, je pense que le mérite, c'est qu'on ait rien lâché.
But I think that what you can say the best about us there was we just didn't give up.
Aussi, parce que comme je dis, je le répète, c'est un mec hyper important pour notre groupe.
And in particular, as we lost a really important member of our group there in that game.
Ça donne envie d'y revenir dans 2 mois.
Ouais, bah,
so does it make you want to come back in a couple of months?
Je pense que notre performance de ce soir le montre bien, mais
yes, I think that this performance tonight shows that we're capable of it.
C'est chose faite. Maintenant, on va basculer sur le prochain.
Now that's done, we have to get ready for the next game. That next game will be against La Rochelle away. Thomas Ramos then may regret those 3 missed kicks at goal. Number of things that they'll look back on, but that missed conversion in the end is what helped Toulon win. Well, I think they're going to have a good time tonight, Toulon. And why wouldn't they? Moving ever nearer to the playoffs. Joel Merkle, who thought that his late try, his first ever in top 14 and professional rugby, might have been enough, but now he won't remember it with quite such relief after his side lost the game in the end, and all the joy is on the faces of the hosts, as we talk to Thibaut Flamand.
d'Europe ces 2 derniers week-ends. Là,
Well,
il y
after
avait
these
un
2
match
European
avec,
weekends,
un vélodrome plein, une belle
you came to the
atmosphère.
Velodrome, packed, great atmosphere. You played 15 against 14.
Comment vous avez vécu ce match?
But you didn't win. How did you feel that match went?
Il y a beaucoup de frustration sur la
Lots
fin.
of frustration.
On passe vraiment pas loin.
We weren't far
mis les
away.
ingrédients pour faire un résultat. On avait très bien démarré.
We got off to a good start.
Ça se joue à quelques imprécisions,
It's just
quelques détails.
the result was decided on
On s'est mis dans les,
a little bit of inaccuracies by
on s'est donné les
ourselves.
moyens de remporter le match. C'est pas passé aujourd'hui, donc on est déçus.
It's a shame we
Il y a
didn't
la
win the
déception
match,
et
and we're
la
disappointed
frustration,
about it.
forcément. Comment vous expliquez qu'à 15 contre
How do you
14,
explain
finalement,
that
c'est
15
plus
against
Toulon qui a
14
donné le rythme
couldn't
dans ce
win?
match, dans cette deuxième
And how
période?
is it that they actually
Je pense
gave the rhythm
qu'on
to the
l'avait dit à la
game?
mi-temps, on voulait pas tomber un peu dans ce faux rythme de.
Yeah, we didn't want
Voilà,
to
ça
get
joue un peu,
into
mais pas trop,
this
on est ballon,
rhythm
au pied,
that it
machin.
wasn't a real one.
Je pense qu'on est un peu tombé là-dedans au final.
But I think that's exactly what we
on a
fell
pris des
into.
points et petit à petit ils sont revenus et ils ont pris le.
And little by little they
Merci,
came
Thibaut.
back and got on top of us. Yeah, that is a disappointing one. There were so many changes. But in the end, Toulon doing enough. Fainganuku tries in both halves. He continues his wonderful first year in French rugby. Toza and Merkle scoring. Merkle's try would have been enough to win it, but Ramos missed the conversion, and that is why Toulon have won it. And in the end, Brian Alanoese's 39th minute sending off did not cost Toulon the victory. Toulouse with more possession, more territory, although Toulon managed to narrow that statistic towards the end. 10 penalties for Toulon, which is amazing when you consider they were playing with 14 men. Real discipline. Few knock-ons, but in the end, they really dug in. And that will really G them up for the last 5 games of the regular season. So the Velodrome, usually the home to Marseille's football team, will have enjoyed this match in rugby. We look forward to coming here for the final. Semi-finals, of course, will be in Bordeaux. Bordeaux-Bègles, though, find themselves in 8th place at the moment. They've dropped outside of the top 6. They might not even get to go to their home city for the last 4. It's a real fall from grace at the moment from a side that is out of Europe as well. So we're just waiting for the highlights to come up. Toulouse, incidentally, next up for them is a rematch of the quarter-final in the Champions Cup, or rather in the last 16 of the Champions Cup. That'll be at home. So then, Toulon have had the rubber on Toulouse in recent years. Toulouse have not won away at Toulon since April 2016. However, wonderful little break here. Lester Fainganuku bursting through to touchdown, adding to the score he did in the first half, and improbably putting the 14 men of Toulon into an 18 to 11 point lead. So strong. 3 Toulouse defenders hit him, and all of them he just bounced off. And he had the momentum before he was touched to get the ball down over the line. Toulouse, though, came back. Looked like this driving maul was going nowhere, but then all of a sudden the rhythm started going. Meckler there with his bloodied right eye, the man to watch here. Over he went, reached out, long arms, touchdown, and all of a sudden Toulouse were back within 1 point with 5 minutes to go in the game. The conversion would put them in front. Even Paul Coste joining in with that driving maul. Jack Singleton thought that he had been rolling over, but you can see there, he didn't roll, he just reached out. We didn't see the conversion, and it meant that Dan Bingham could kick the ball out. 3 wins in a row, not the stylish wins that we saw against Montpellier and away at Bayonne, but maybe even more of a precious win against the champions, and the belief that that will bring with it. They might have been missing their major first-team stars, but it's still a win over the 22-time Brennus winners. So that's it from me, Angus Turreau. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. I hope you enjoyed that match as much as I did. For now, though, come back tomorrow. More Top 14 action to come. But for now, it's au revoir.